Alright, so our next review is of ONET Online. So onetonline.org is the web URL that will get you to the site. This resource is definitely something I use with my students. A lot of the colleagues in the office use this as well. Our academic advisors also recommend students use ONET as well. It is put together by the U.S. Department of Labor, so you'll see a lot of kind of crossover in terms of resources as well. So what you're going to find on ONET Online is that you're going to find, again, occupational research resources. So you can find occupations by different groups, clusters, those sorts of things. You can base your searches on keywords or the ONET codes, specific knowledge, skills, abilities, any of those types of things. Crosswalks, so if you're looking for particular short ways to get to these different things, you can certainly look based on those. So essentially, I'll just show you really quickly an occupation search. Again, I'll use nurse, since that's something I work with. And you're going to come up with options. So you can click on registered nurse. Very similar to the things that we've been talking about in the other podcasts. So basic summaries of the occupations. What I find on ONET is I find that these are much more comprehensive. So they are way more in-depth than the other websites that you might have seen us review. So talking about the knowledge, skills, abilities, work activities, so a lot of the keywords that are going to be important to this particular opportunity. The education, if you knew about Holland Code, this would be those Holland letters. So social, investigative, and conventional tend to be the codes that work really well for nurses here. Work styles, work values, and then related occupations. Again, you're giving information about the wages and the trends. Also, some job banks that they can connect to. And then alternative ways to get information. So some of those professional organizations again. Let me take you back up to the top here. Sorry for all the scrolling. But then, as you can see, if you have something specific you want to click to, you can click right to those and I'll take you right down to that. So those are important to kind of know on how to get through that. You can view it based on details, the summary, details, or custom, and you can pick which pieces you want to see if that's too much information as well. So you certainly can work with kind of paring down the information if you feel like it's too much for the students that you're working with. Alright, so let's go back to the home page. Something I do want to point out, a couple of things that might be of interest. If you are working with veterans, which I think we're definitely seeing an increase of students who are coming to us as veteran status, you can certainly work with them through the veterans piece. And so again, it gives you some opportunities to kind of browse those experiences. What I like about the opportunities is that you can pick the branch of the military that they participated in, and then they can put in sort of their classification and they can find occupations that are similar in nature. So that's kind of neat. It's a neat way to work with those people and getting them an opportunity to find out how they can translate their experiences to the world of work. Okay, the other thing I want to show you is also you have the opportunity to click on something called My Next Move. So if we click on that, very similar to kind of the page we just saw with the veterans, but it asks you, what do you want to do for a living? So this is a great way to do some exploration. If you know a career or occupation that you want, you can search that way. You can browse by industry, or you can do tell us what you like to do. So this would be good for those exploring, and it brings you to the ONET Interest Profiler. So what you can do is then go through and take this interest profiler. There's some questions, and then at the end it gives you some results of things that you can kind of look at. At the end, I do recommend, if you take a student through this, have them, I believe it gives them an option to print. When you go to print, you can then save that document. Otherwise, what will happen is because they don't log into this website, the information will be lost. However, if they know those scores and that document, they can enter their scores, and they can kind of go through it a little bit faster. So that would be the one piece that I would kind of recommend, is watch for, if this is something that you assign a student to participate or to do, have them save that document at the end. And I believe your only option is to click the print and then save from that section there. So just an update on how to kind of make sure they're bringing that back to you. So this is also a great way to kind of get students matched to occupations based on their interests. So let's go back. Let's go back this way. Okay, so, alright, so those are kind of the big things. A couple of things you might also find interesting there's green economy opportunities. You can learn more or search more. Let's take a look there. So any of the opportunities you're going to see are going to have this little leaf next to them. You might have seen on some of the other opportunities, they were listed by Bright Outlook, so let's take a look at that. So any jobs you're going to see that have a bright outlook are going to have the sun next to them. So there are a few little icons that might be helpful as you're working with a student to kind of know what those are and how those indicate either green jobs or hot jobs within those occupations. Let's see, I think those are the big things that go along with this particular site. There's definitely ways to kind of wander around and kind of learn the different things that are available here, but definitely a great site for doing some occupational research and kind of matching some of your interests to opportunities as well.